Welcome to Rat Girls Podcast. I'm Abigail Jensen.
And welcome back, Double Teamed fam. How are you doing today? We are here with we're Abigail from Rat Girls Podcast.
And also, this is Cammie.
Tag teaming this episode, yeah.
Yeah, well, introduce yourself.
Oh, sorry, this is Cammie.
And this is Nikki.
When have I ever done that?
Well, for their audience, they
that's
don't
true.
know
That's
Cammie and
true.
Nikki. For her audience,
This is Cammie, that's my voice.
And this is Nikki. This is my voice.
Yeah, cool.
Sometimes we forget because we are twins. We do sound a lot alike. So, anyways,
I remember
good luck.
someone one time was like, y'all should introduce yourselves. And I'm like, no, figure it out.
Figure it out.
I don't need to do that.
Anyways, okay, so before we get started today, we have a little segment that we've been doing on the a few of our last episodes, and it's called First Time ?
Brought to you by Iroha. They've got some wonderful massagers, not vibrators.
So it's a
Adult
vibrator
toys.
brand from Japan.
Okay,
so
great.
and I really like their stuff. Like they
They're
have this
super
one,
dope.
Yeah, they have this one wand that they gave us to use last year, and it's literally like one of my go-tos.
Sweet.
When I'm not like using a dildo, just because like the materials they use are really nice. We really like them. But anyways, so first time ? Is what was the first time using a vibrator?
I don't know about you guys, but I didn't even really know about, I knew about vibrators, but not really until I was 25.
Yeah,
Had it until later after I'd already started having sex.
Mhm.
And then
Same.
I watched this show on Netflix. I think it was called Explained. And each episode
Oh, yeah.
covers something different.
Yeah.
And one of them was about orgasms. And it made me realize I'd never had one. And the woman in it was talking about how she got a vibrator because she realized she'd never had one, laid a towel down and just went to work. And I was like, that's what I need to do. And so I did it. I got a clit sucking vibe and laid a towel down and was in my room for probably 5 hours. Just zapping myself. This is awesome.
Wow. Okay, wait. Did you also lay down a towel?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Lay down a towel, turn the lights off, music on, made sure my roommates were gone.
I think this is one of the beauties of being a woman. Sometimes when I finish having an O with my vibrator, I'm like, I can have another.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, just turn up the intensity, throw it back on there, and bam,
Totally.
we can have two. And then after a while, you're like, I could go for three. You could keep going. And so that's
and that
great.
first time, it's I literally was I discovered something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you guys watched that show, Sex Education?
Yes, I love that
It's
show.
so good. That girl, Amy, she's going to be in White Lotus. I think her name's Amy. She's curly blonde hair. She's really cute.
Yes,
But the
yes,
first
yes,
season,
yes.
she discovered masturbating. And it was just a montage of her humping pillows, humping her fingers, over the entire
Yeah.
night. And that's what I feel I felt like. It was wow, what a cool experience that we can do this for ourselves.
Yeah.
I love that. That's hilarious.
I think, a lot of the times, do you use vibrators during sex too?
Yes.
Okay, nice. See, I feel a lot of the times, it's almost like someone's first masturbation experience is very closely tied to their first vibe experience in a way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was my first masturbation experience.
Wait, what? You did it all in one go?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
25 years old was the first time I ever did it. I know.
Wow.
That's nuts. I'm the same though in that I started having sex before I ever masturbated or used a vibrator, and my friend actually gifted me a vibrator when I was 18. Hated it, used it, and then then it died. It was like a little bullet.
Oh, yeah.
It died, and I never touched a vibrator again until I'm not kidding you, 23, 24.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. I just never thought to buy one again.
No, see, I never thought about being turned on my own, doing that
Yeah.
by myself.
I always associated it with a man present.
Totally.
Yeah.
And then when you feel like you can do that on your own, you're I don't need anyone.
Sometimes, I love a good midday wank. So sometimes, it's noon and I'm I don't have anything to do. I'm an adult.
Yeah.
I have a toy. I can go take care of myself right now. And I usually do. So for me, especially in my late 20s and early 30s now, I'm I love a good midday wank.
Yeah,
I used to wank
self-care.
in between, meetings when I had my corporate job. So yeah.
I love like when you realize like I'm an adult. Like sometimes I'll be like, I could go to the grocery and get a cake right now. Like it's not anyone's
cake
birthday.
to eat yourself. Yeah. The discipline.
I have free will.
Of childhood shame.
Yeah.
Really, really like saves you from a whole cake. I love that.
Yeah.
Anyways, this is First Time brought to you by Iroha. Check them out. Use code DTF10 when you click on Iroha at doubleteamfam.com.
When you guys like masturbate, do you use clit sucking vibes or you mainly use
I've never used a clit sucking vibe.
really?
I'm like afraid of them.
They're my favorite.
I know I've seen what they do, but
Yeah,
I've
I've seen their
like,
work.
Yeah, I mean, I'm scared to look at my clit. Yeah,
What? Like I don't want to.
I open that thing up all the time. I'm like, oh wow, like
No.
you know,
Wow.
nope, mm-mm.
Really? No.
It's just that little bud, you know.
Yeah, I know. I know what it looks
You know
like.
what's so interesting is like when I go watch porn and you see the ones that have a more elongated clit.
Yeah.
Because mine is like just right up against my pubic bone. And it's like so fascinated when you see the ones that are more like elongated just because like I have no experience with that.
Yeah.
And I find it to, you know, not that like it looks weird or bad or anything. I just find it so fascinating because it's not what I'm used to.
Totally. Well, like it's so interesting because there's like so many. This is going down a rabbit hole, kind of that I don't know if we want to go down.
I was like, we can go down it real quick and then we'll get to the questions.
There's
We'll pop
so
back
like
up.
people think of intersex people as being like, you know, the like back in the day, the bad word for it was like they called people hermaphrodites and stuff like that. Like
I don't know if I know
that was a derogatory
Do I know
term. I
that
thought it
term?
was the
I
like
thi-
scientific term.
I think people used it derogatory. Like I remember when Lady Gaga, they were like, Lady Gaga is a hermaphrodite. Like there was like that rumor going around about her.
But what is that?
But so like
when you have both parts.
both parts.
Oh.
Well, people think that's what like intersex is, but intersex 2 in 100 people are intersex. And so it's way more than people realize. And a lot of people don't even know they're intersex. And
What does that mean?
so it means you can either have like so I present as female, but I could have like hormones, more male hormones in me and not even know it. Or like my clit could be elongated.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a sign that maybe, you know, in the forming of everything, at one point I was meant to have a penis.
It was almost turning into
Yeah,
penis.
it's-
Well, because I mean, in anatomy, isn't it like in the first few weeks of like the development of the body parts, like you all start like basically with vaginas. And
Yeah.
then if you are a male, the chromosomes all come, or like the what is the X chromosome or the Y?
The XX is women, XY is men.
Okay, so the Y chromosome is what causes it to like basically come out.
Yeah.
And because I mean, if you look at it like a shaft, a penis, like and balls are basically the outer version of everything we have inside.
Totally,
of us.
it's all the same.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's interesting that like I just thought that's so fascinating when I learned 2 in 100 people are intersex and don't even know it.
I
Like,
had no idea either.
so I'm like, maybe I'm sitting on that. I have like a superpower or something. Maybe I don't even know I'm intersex, but how cool would that be?
That's fascinating. I always wondered that too, but like when I would see like more elongated clits, I was like, you know,
Yeah,
that's interesting.
there's just so much going on down there. Like it's a miracle anyone's even born at all. But like, and the,
it really is.
yeah, like it's like, how are we alive? Like, what is this?
Oh my god! I saw this TikTok the other day that I thought was so funny. This guy was like, "I just watched my wife give birth." He was like, "It's beautiful. I loved it. Great experience." And he was like, "But why is it designed to be that way? Who thought it's let's?" Someone was like, Someone was like, it's like if you were building a boat in a garage and you're like, we're either gonna cut the roof off or put it through the doggy door. I was like, that is a great analogy.
I think we should build it. But then, like, what would a pouch outside look like? You
Oh,
like
I
if
would
we were
love that.
marsupials?
Yeah,
No.
like a little kangaroo.
Kangaroo. What the fuck does that look like?
would
You
look
just
weird.
open it and it's like,
Hi, baby.
that would look weird too. No, I mean, I get it. But at the same time, when you build a boat inside a garage and the only two ways out are a
Yeah.
doggy door or the roof, cutting out the roof.
No, I know it's the most natural thing that can happen, but it seems not natural at all. It seems
No.
like very
I'm
alien.
terrified of
I'm
it, to be honest.
terrified.
Like, I know that I want to, like, the thought of giving my boyfriend children and, like, being pregnant for him turns me the fuck on.
Same.
However, the thought of having to expel that thing from my vaginal canal gives me this deep-seated fear of the unknown, of not knowing the magnitude of that pain.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
like
Like the anxiety of leading up to the day and being like, fuck, I'm already pregnant.
No,
like, I
exactly.
can't, it's,
Like,
not,
there's
it's
no way out. There's no
coming.
way out. Why can't I be put under anesthesia? I don't understand.
Yeah, totally.
So it's just like it's such a weird like because I feel like I'd be a great mom, but I'm also just like so scared of childbirth.
Same.
And I'm like, because like it could fuck you up.
Totally.
You could die.
I
Your
know. So people
bladder-
are like, the miracle of birth is that you survive. Like, I understand, like, you know, billions of people have been doing this for centuries. However, like, the miracle of birth. But I do try to remind myself that. I'm like, look, everyone does it.
Yeah.
That's how we're here. So it's like, you know, you got to just have hope and faith, but it is a touchy subject. to
But
say the
also, it's like,
least.
is your bladder ever the same after? Like, I already pee bad. Like,
I know.
Are-
I already have incontinence when I like
yeah, I'm laughing.
Yeah, no, but when I'm about to start my period, like the week before during my luteal phase, I cannot hold my bladder in to save my life. And I'm like, what kind of weak ass pelvic floor am I working with?
Do the little.
No, yeah, earlier today, this lady was like, I want you to stop right now, do 5 pelvic. And I was like, okay, we're going to try this. And I was up there, I was thinking, my abs are sore from a workout the other day. I was like trying to do it. And I was like, am I doing it right? Like, I don't understand. Like, what am I crunching? You know, like there's just so many questions. And then, yeah, it's just, I don't know where I was going with that, but
No.
I get it.
I'm ready for test tube babies. I'm excited. I want it. Have my little baby grow in a test tube. I can come visit it. You know,
Yeah, no,
like
exactly.
seeing
Wait,
like
they do that? It's like a
I don't know,
plant.
but that's what I want. Like,
Oh, I mean, honestly, yeah. No, I've thought about it. I'm like, I would love to have a surrogate, but then, like, if I think about it, I'm like, someone else carrying my husband's child? Fuck that shit. I'm doing it.
What kind of ego shit is that, Nicole?
Exactly.
see, I want like a little room in my house. I open the door. There's like this giant green tube, and every day I can go in, and there's like this little
And
thing
you're like,
floating
"Oh,
in
there
it.
he is."
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm like, that's
Unfortunately, not how it works. But
one day. Well, to have. Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
no, go ahead. I was just going to say, I think I'd look cute with like a little belly. But that's
Yeah,
not-
that is the thing. I do want to be like the cute pregnant person. Maybe
do
I'll
I.
fake it.
so do I. I hope it's a cute journey. We'll
yeah,
see.
like the little bump. Okay, our main cheese today.
Yes.
We're talking about what women think about during sex or in the bedroom.
I still really want to watch the episode that you did about what men think about with Jesse.
What do y'all think about?
Wait, hold on. Let's see what the questions
Oh
say,
yeah,
and
I have
we'll
a
go from there.
list.
Yeah, we have a
and
list.
then we can. Do we want to do our general thoughts first or answer the questions first?
I say let's answer the questions, and I'm sure that will bring
Okay.
about the general thoughts.
Okay. Women in the bedroom. Are you able to put aside your to-do list and enjoy sex if it isn't complete?
Usually, yes. I'm just loving that this is the first question because they're like, "Can you put away your to-do list?"
Yeah, I'm sure.
I will say that like I am the type of person that I will gladly carve out time in the middle of my to-do list to like go and enjoy myself for a moment because that is going to give me the motivation to keep doing my to-do list.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so most of the time. Sometimes then afterwards I'm like, I'll get to the rest tomorrow. But
Yeah.
for the most part, yeah, I think I can like take a break pretty well.
I mean, I have my calendar. I just go by that, but lately my calendar hasn't been very full, you know? So
Yeah.
it's more so the fact that like, yeah, I can definitely compartmentalize the two for sure, I'd say.
The only time I can't is if it's time based. Like if I have a meeting at 5 or so, and we're like getting it on at 4:30, because then I'm like constantly like, oh my god, you know.
Okay, that I
That,
agree with.
yes, 100%.
If it's time based like that, I am like I remember one time I had a call and I had a meeting and my boyfriend and I started having sex and like about halfway through I was like I should probably keep like a mental tab on how long this is taking over the past, but that was the only thought I had when I went back in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like I don't know about you guys, but I'm really like I'm anxious about being early everywhere. And so if I'm heading out the door and Jesse tries to have sex with me, I'll be like, we're gonna be late. Like I'm like I just am like such a people pleaser and want to be there on time that I can't like release myself from that expectation to have sex.
See, I'm the
chronically
opposite.
late.
Really?
I'm the opposite. If I like, sometimes it'll be my boyfriend that'll be like, "We gotta go," and I'm like, "But we have 10 minutes for a quickie. Let's do it," you know. And he'll be like, "No, let's be early," you know. So it's the opposite for me.
Different.
I missed Mau P on New Year's Day at Crossed because my boyfriend and I decided to have sex.
Wait,
Well,
you missed
no.
what?
Mal P, it's a DJ.
Oh, okay.
So Crossed is a EDM festival that happens around New Year's, or proper, brought to you by Crossed, whatever. Anyways, and like the whole fam had already left, gone to the concert, and my boyfriend and I were like, you know, getting ready, whatever, and then we decided to bang, and I was like, in the back of my mind, I was like, I know I'm missing Mal P.
And it was a fire set that you
But
missed.
I
We were all
was-
like, why aren't Cammy and her boo here?
But I was happy, whatever. I got,
You know, do you?
Not
It's
like I
fine.
don't get sex from him every day, but you know, like,
Yeah, you don't see Mal P every day. Okay.
But I saw him at the restaurant an hour before, you know, like
Oh,
in
there you
passing,
go.
he walked by. Anyways,
You know what? You got priorities. And when there's a time limit, mine is not sex, unfortunately.
mine is. Sex will always be usually.
I
like
find it
one or
exciting
two.
to squeeze sex into situations where there's no time or it shouldn't happen.
Do you guys have a spontaneous desire?
Yeah.
Okay.
All the time.
That makes sense because I'm responsive. And so
I have both.
You do?
So there are times where like I'm not even in the mood, but like we're cuddling on the couch and suddenly I'm like,
You're like,
could
let's
do it.
go.
And then other times where like I literally just have the thought like, oh, sex is great, and then I'm like, poof, let's go.
Let's fucking do. Well, because responsive people, a lot of times they need like everything to be perfect. And I'm like one of those people where it's like, I do better if I'm showered. Like I haven't pooped recently. You know, like I'm like, there's not much on the to-do list. Like that's when there's no like in-laws in town. That's when I feel most.
See, that's interesting because I don't relate to that at all.
Yeah.
It will literally
That's
could
nice
be
and freeing.
Any minute of the day, I could be like earlier today, I was actually super emotional about something, and I had just gotten back from the dog park, and our little pup Snowy, well, she's 12, but she got into a fight, and you know,
No, a dog
like,
attacked her. She didn't get in.
yeah, a dog attacked her. Anyways, and so like all these things, I had all these stressors, and like I was super emotional, and I literally just like walked into my bedroom and just like had the thought, I should wank, and I didn't because I actually had to go somewhere else, but I was just so spontaneously ready
Yeah.
for it. I'm like, well, I could take 5 minutes, and then I looked at the clock and I was like, I can't take 5 minutes, so I didn't.
That's so nice and freeing to not
I
be like
guess.
the lights have to be this way.
Yeah.
And like, I think that's a little probably of my OCD too.
I get that. I
OCD
mean, everyone's
anxiety.
different. I will say though, sometimes with spontaneous desire, then it's like, and I just have a high sex drive in general. So sometimes I really struggle with like, you know, the most random thing. Like my boyfriend could do the most random thing. Sometimes it'll just like, he walks through the door in his uniform and I'm like, let's go. But then it's just like, you know, he's like, give me a fucking moment. He's like, I gotta pee. Let me set down my stuff. You know, he was like, I just, you know, got off of a stressful work day. I want to like decompress. And so, you know, I don't know. It has its pros and cons, but I'm not
Totally.
going to complain about it. I hope I always have both spontaneous and responsive desire.
No, I feel like it's such a superpower. Oh wait, next question. Women in the bedroom, what do you wish your partner would do vocally?
My boyfriend makes these little like soft little moans sometimes. And I haven't heard him recently. And I was thinking the other day, I'm like, I need to hear them. You know, because sometimes he just, instead of the little soft moans, he'll go to like words. And I'm like, well, that's great. But I also like this.
I love just noise in general.
Yes, I want confirmation.
Mm-hmm.
It is the part of me that, well, it's like I need to hear something.
Totally.
If it's dead quiet, I'm like, the only reason that would be okay is if there's like, we know someone's in the other room or something.
Right. It's like hot because we're having to keep quiet.
Yes.
But I agree though, like if it's dead quiet, my mind then starts going to, well, is he
Like,
enjoying it?
Mhm.
Is he enjoying it? Is he not
Does
in
he
his-
like this? I don't know.
Is he
Like,
thinking about something else? Is he
What is
not
he
connected
thinking
to me
about?
right now?
Yeah.
What is it? You know, so I start freaking out when it's too quiet. So I do like some, like whether it's just like, and it doesn't have to be like, I think the thing with men is, you know, and I understand this because like as someone that used to like partake in BDSM, when you have to come up with creative shit that you hope turns someone on, like that is a lot of pressure.
Totally.
It is. And so like I completely understand if, you know, sometimes like you want to say something but you're like not sure what, and then maybe you get in your head about it and then you're just quiet in your head like, "Oh, you know, what am I going to say that's going to like turn her on?" So
Or you say the combination of two things and it
Yeah.
comes out as some weird ass word that you never meant to say.
Yeah.
exactly, or like some weird phrase. And so I think just like make some noises, some, you know, little moans or like grunts, whatever you want to call them. I don't know. You know, snarl in the ear. I'm kidding.
The growl.
growl in the ear. No, I'm kidding. But if it comes to like just compliment something about the situation, you feel so good, or like, oh my god, I love that, or you taste great, smell great, whatever. I don't know, something. But like it is nice to get like confirmation along the way that like you're connected and you're enjoying it.
I think women are such like, we love hearing how much we mean to you or how good we feel, like us specifically. Like I like it being specific, like no one's ever done this for me before.
Yeah.
Like make me feel special kind of thing.
Why do we need that? I hate that. Why can't I be like a dude and not need constant confirmation?
But they also love our noises too. So that's the thing.
But to them, that's confirmation.
Yeah, that is confirmation. And that's why it's always like shocking to me when they are quiet, because I'm like, I know you love this. Once I had a guy come, 0 noise was made. I didn't even know. I kept going. I was on top. Like
I hate that. And then 10 minutes later, he was like, I came like 10 minutes
That's
ago.
what he said.
Exactly. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And I was like, I was on top riding you. I had no idea. Like, I can't feel it. Like, we have a condom on.
Yeah, no, exactly. And that, that makes it hard.
And what do you want? It's just like, you're just silently coming and like laying there.
I mean, I love a warning. Hey, I'm going to come.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, what would you rather? A guy that says nothing or a total screamer?
I think I'd take the screamer.
I don't know.
I think
there was one guy from the past, the way that he would come, I was just, every time, I'm like,
what is like guttural?
I don't even want to talk about it. I don't want to think about it. It's probably like, yeah. But, I was just hard. So... I think honestly, I would go with the quiet one. As horrible as that is to say, after the whole spiel I just gave you, I would take that over this.
But like then you just keep going. I was riding a limp penis for 10 minutes. Like what?
Then I'll learn to figure it out. Yeah, it slips out. You keep going. You figure it out.
You figure it out. His penis breaks. It's fine. No, I say be loud. I don't know. And like, if you say something stupid, laugh it off. Like it's not.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and like if they like you, they'll probably laugh it off with you.
Totally.
They're not gonna care.
Yeah, I think be loud. I want to hear it. Okay, women in the bedroom. Do you think about other men or other penises?
No. If anything, I'll think about tits.
I was just about to say, you think I'm thinking about penises?
The fuck you think I'm thinking about penises? Fuck no. They are not
boobs.
They are not aesthetic. So it's funny because what's hot? A pair of good tits. Sorry. So whenever you posted the questions that women had, and that was one of the questions is like, do you think about other girls or like do you compare us to exes? And so I asked that to my boyfriend because I asked him the full list, and he was like, no, absolutely not. And it's funny because the way it was worded, do you think about other women? And he was like, no, absolutely not. And I'm thinking to myself, well, I do. I was like, I don't think about other men. I don't think about other penises whatsoever. But like sometimes like, a pair of tits just flashes through the mind.
I love thinking about a threesome.
Tits. Like I know I was going to say animate. Threesome. Okay.
Yeah. Or animated tits.
Yeah. And I honestly was like trying to decide for myself. I'm like, well, do I feel guilty about that? Because like I am bisexual and I love women's parts. And I mean, it's like sporadic, but like, yeah, sometimes like that just like pops into my mind. And like a lot of times, especially like if I'm like doing something to my, like I'm on top or whatever. And like, I love the thought of like, okay, I'm getting this from him. And like, if there was a pair of boobs in front of my face right now, like I'd be thrilled.
Totally.
So like that thought can like come into mind occasionally. So.
I feel like it's the vibrator where it's like the addition. It's not taking away from your partner.
Exactly. I don't want another.
In my dream, he's there. Like, just also tits are there.
Exactly.
Like,
I would challenge you to just, think about, nonpartisan tits. Like, there's no, like,
not Republican or Democrat tits.
This is a political podcast. No. Think about tits, because this is the thing, like, if I'm having sex with my boyfriend and all of a sudden I just like, the thought of tits comes into my mind, I'm not going to fantasize, a girl who like I had been with before in the past.
Exactly.
I think that's disrespectful.
Yeah.
I'm going to fantasize about some random porno tits I saw or anime tits that I saw, last time I wanked with porn or something. you know? So then it's like, it's not, because it's like, for example, like I don't care if my boyfriend watches porn, you know, it's not like he's watching someone he knows. So if I'm imagining boobs, I'm imagining random ones.
Totally. Like, I'm never thinking about past partners.
Yeah.
To be clear, like,
No,
that's part of the question. It's like, also sometimes I'm like, because I have the bisexual problem sometimes where it's like, I don't know if I am attracted to a girl or I like want to be her kind of thing.
Oh.
So sometimes I'm like thinking about tits and I'm like, what if these were on me? Like, how cool would that be? You know, it's not even just like in a sexual way. I'm thinking about like myself being empowered with giant boobies. Like,
Love that.
yeah.
Yeah. I like that perspective too, because sometimes like that can be the case. Like it's not even attraction; it's just like it's something that like you find like you would want on yourself. So I like that perspective too. I think my thing though with like so like because that's usually the case for me too. If I ever think about like boobs, it typically is like some porno that like I've never met the woman, so it's like it's the same thing where it's like it's removed, like it's not someone that like I've had like interactions with, and so, but then like. The times that it's happened, then I stop and think, and I'm like, okay, well, what if he had to think about that, because it's opposite gender. Like, I think, like, if it was, like, me having to think about, like, a guy that I saw in a porno, then, like, I would find that disrespectful for me to think about, and then I would, if he knew that, then I would understand why he got upset, but, like, it's the same gender. So, like, it's a bit of a gray area, I think, because it's, like, it's just because, like, I'm already getting a dick from him. Now, my bisexual brain's like, now let's add a pair of tits into the fantasy and like go from there. Whereas like, if it was a man and like, he's there with his woman and he's thinking about another woman, then that feels different. So I think like that can be a little bit of a struggle. What are your thoughts? You said something. No, that's a thought. That's a good thought. No, I don't really want to think about that. Like, what if I... No, exactly. You know what I mean?
No, I'm spiraling.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, now I'm spiraling. If it was a bi man and he was like, okay, I'm with a woman, I've got a woman, and now I'm going to throw a man into the fantasy in my head. Like, I would understand that because, like, that is a parallel. Those are, like, similar situations. But, like, with it, if it turns into the opposite sex, that's when I'm like, That's
interesting.
Yeah.
That I don't know though, like, because one of my biggest fantasies is not me exposing myself, but like I love like spit roasted videos where it's like, or like, is it A-frame? Is that what you call it? Like
the Eiffel Tower?
Eiffel Tower, yeah. A-frame. Thinking of the like aesthetic name. Yes, but like you said with the like I'm not if I fantasize about a penis, like say I fantasize about getting Eiffel Towered, I'm not like attaching that penis to a body, basically. Like if I'm thinking
you're attaching it to the sensation.
That
makes sense. Well, then I think that's like where it like can kind of differentiate. Like, are you having to like channel a specific person in that moment to get off, or is it like something about like additional parts or more of like the experience?
It's like the power dynamic of like, what if there were multiple penises here and they were just after me?
Well, I mean, I think.
So I guess I do think about penises sometimes.
I don't think I've ever thought about like an additional penis while I've been hooking up with my partner. No, I can't think of a scenario.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I could understand how like in that fantasy for sure. But I've also experienced that. So I also like have been, I don't know if you've experienced it before. So it's like, I know what that's like. And so it's like I've moved on from it, if that makes sense.
I was going to say, I don't fantasize about it anymore because like I've already done it.
Yeah. So it's like once you've like experienced the fantasy, then it's a little bit different,
It's also a lot of work.
I know.
I know it sounds
that's why
fun, but
it's a fun
exhausting.
fantasy. That's why I don't want to do it, but I like to think about it.
But I think like for men asking that question, like in general, like, oh, does, my partner think about other men or, other penises? Like, I guess I would say like from experience, generally, no.
Yeah.
Like that would be like the response. And so.
Yeah. Never other men. Like,
yeah. And I think like, okay, if they were having to think about like an ex or another man or like, someone hot that they saw at the grocery store and now they're like channeling that into your experience, like, I think that can be a conversation for the both of you to decide if that's okay or not in your relationship. Because for some people, they're like, sure, I don't care. Use me as your little toy as you think about, the hot life card. And other people are like, I find that incredibly disrespectful. So I think it's just a matter of like, what's okay in your relationship.
Totally. I think that's smart. Next question.
Let's hear it. All right, guys, I'm on my coochie cleanse. And part of that means taking the right probiotics. So, of course, VB Health, one of our sponsors, they make Soaking Wet, which is a probiotic blend that not only makes you wetter, but it helps with your overall biome. So, I don't know, girls, you need to get on a probiotic. We all do. That's not common information that we get told, so it's about time someone tells you to. And for the guys, they make products for the guys as well. The Load Boost, which helps you have bigger loads, better tasting loads, and better orgasms. So VB Health, they've got your sexual wellness covered. So as a couple, if you want to go buy Soaking Wet for her and Load Boost for him, that can be like a fun little, little duo for the both of you. And then you're just having better, wetter sex. Go to soakingwet.com and use code DTFAM for 10% off your order from VB Health. All right, guys, you've heard me rave on and on about this sex blanket that I got from Sunny Situations. You have to give it a try. I love this thing. I'm actually going to take mine over to my boyfriend's place because that's where we have sex. And Kami and I are about to move out of our place, so I don't need it with me anymore. But it is the best blanket. And I didn't know this, but it comes in a purple color. I got it in black and gray. Tia has it in purple. And now I kind of want to get the purple, even though I already have one, but I just love the purple so much. But anyways, it's just like, you don't have to worry about your bedding anymore. You don't have to worry about period sex. You don't have to worry about juices getting everywhere. Like, you literally just lay it down. You can go to Pound Town with your boo and everything's good to go. So I just am a little disappointed that I didn't discover sex blankets sooner. Like, I've talked about it before. Like, the first time I ever used one, it was kind of like this like vinyl looking, like, and it wasn't even mine. I was with two people that were using it. And it wasn't bad, but I just I never thought like, okay, this is something I want to pull out for every single time I have sex. So when I got this blanket and I realized like it's an actual like nice, usable blanket like for every single time, it just kind of elevated the whole experience for me. So get you a blanket from Sunny Situations. They're also super affordable. And the founder of the company, we really love her, like working with her and everything. So go to the link in the episode description and use code DTFAMLOVE, so DTFAMLOVE, for savings on your order. I believe it is 10% off. So yeah, go get you a sex blanket. You need one. Like I said, 2025, year of the sex blanket. If you're looking for a good vibrator for both insertion and vibrations, you guys have heard us talk about Aroha before. I have the Aroha Mai. That's the one that you can insert and use as a vibrator. And I freaking love it. I really literally use it almost every single time I'm having a wank. Like, if I'm not using my dildo, I'll go grab my Aroha. Just because it's like a sleeker design. It's a little bit of a different feel than a dildo, but it's curved to hit the G-spot just right. And also it's made out of super nice materials. We've been working with this brand for a while, and honestly, I really love their products. I love working with them. I think they really just want to make and promote really good, nice products for, women. And I am always here for that. And I know recently they've launched some other new products as well. So be sure to check them out. Go to doubleteamedfam.com, which is basically our link tree. Click on Aroha and use code DTF10 for 10% off of your order. Let us know what you guys think.
Women in the bedroom, do you care if we come fast?
No, I like it sometimes.
I love it. I'm like, I did this to you?
Yes. I
like,
saw.
hell
Yeah, that's good pussy.
Yeah. And it's usually I did nothing, but
Yeah.
I'll take the credit.
I saw a meme before. It was a guy, or not a meme, it was a reel. And the guy was basically saying, he was like, if your man doesn't come quick from time to time, he doesn't love you. And I took that to heart. I'm like, I need to know. So the times when my boyfriend is like, oh my God, I'm so sorry I came so fast. I'm like, no, they're there.
Also, it doesn't have to be over. That's
No,
the
it
thing.
does-
Sex doesn't end when the man
Exactly.
comes.
That's
No,
what I
that's
was
one
going to
thing
say.
I
love is as soon as, if he comes early, we just know. Fingers and vibrator.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was
The
saying.
trifecta.
That's that's what I was gonna say. Like if I want to keep going, but like he's already done, then usually that's the case. Like I'll pull out my vibrator, he'll stick his fingers in and like go that route, or other things, whatever.
Yeah.
Like maybe we just want to like cuddle and just like touch each other sensually, whatever. But I guess like in those instances, I don't care as long as it's not like they just immediately roll off the bed, go to the bathroom, and then pretend like nothing happened, and
Yeah.
I'm just
Oh,
and then
yeah.
I'm left sitting there like. Well, my clit is halfway engorged. And now I have blue balls. Like
I think that's a fine distinction to make. If you come quick, that's fine. Just keep it going for the partner, because otherwise it's
if
like,
they want to keep it going.
yeah, exactly. You're just gonna leave them hanging dry because you all of a sudden came. Like, no, use your other tools.
You got fingers, you've got toes.
Yeah, you've got toes.
Try a toe.
I love a palm, or what's it called? Not a palm, a heel.
Oh,
Yeah, like the pressure of a heel into the clit.
What?
I'm sorry.
not
I gotta
tried that.
try this. Okay, let me write that down.
I've not tried that. I
I-
have had a toe in my pussy. But
Have you tried a toe inside you?
No, never.
Okay, try especially the big toe.
Really?
Have them like put the big toe up and then kind of like the other toes down and then just like kind of like ride the big toe. Super fun.
Is there anything against the clit or?
You could put a vibrator if you want.
Yeah.
But or I guess like if you really wanted, you could make it to where like the toes inside you and the other like toes are like on the clit. That sounds like a
Who's that? I feel like I'm not don't have enough
dexterous.
dexterous enough.
Yeah.
Like I feel like my partner would be like, get your toes up there. I'd be like, I don't
That's
know
what I'm saying.
I'm
Maybe
doing.
you just use a vibrator and
Yeah.
use a big toe. But I'm gonna try the heel.
Yeah, I like the heel.
Okay.
I like any pressure against like the mon pubis, area.
Yeah,
Like,
See, that's interesting because like some women love pressure and others are like, fuck that. I'm on the fuck that category.
Really?
Yeah. But like I don't like a lot of pressure there. I want like the sensation of like either like obviously tongue or fingers or vibrator, but like I don't love a lot of pressure.
You might not have this. No, but there's like some women like do you get your quote unquote, because it's not like actually a G spot, it's called like the CUV complex, but if someone goes up in you like this, like hitting the upper part of your wall, does that stimulate the clit for you, or is it better for you to get like direct clit stimulation?
Direct.
Because depending on like if you're like the sponge around your uterus, how big it is, or like around your urethra, how big it is, depends on if you get a lot of stimulation on your clit from the mon pubis and from the G spot. Because I think it's bigger, the sponge, the more likely you're going to get that stimulation there, because the sponge also touches the clit. So like on accident, basically, by touching the G spot or by touching the mon pubis, your sponge is stimulating the clit.
I'm gonna try that and report back.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna have to really think back. Nothing comes to mind, but I don't think so. Yeah, I'm gonna try that and report
Get to
back.
the bottom of your sponge size.
Yep.
Because mine's very like sensitive. So I think I got a
Interesting.
fat old sponge down there.
That's not a bad thing.
No, I know. I'm a fan.
Who doesn't love a big sponge?
Who doesn't love a big sponge? Some people have it, some people don't.
Nice thick scrub daddy.
Yeah, it's a scrub. I got a scrub daddy down there.
Okay, that was bad. What's the next question?
Women in the bedroom. How much do you care about coming?
Like 80%. But I think at the same time, like there are times where it's just not gonna happen. And so, like I'll get on top and give it my go. And if it doesn't happen, I will get back on my back or knees, wherever you want me, and we can resume. So, yeah, sometimes it happens. Occasionally, maybe it doesn't. I think I've gotten pretty good at like understanding how to make my body orgasm. So I'm able to do that pretty successfully most of the time, but sometimes it's not going to happen. And in those moments, like, it's not that then I'm just like, I'm going to continue enjoying the experience. Like it's always the icing on the cake, not like the whole cake.
Totally.
Yeah.
I would agree. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, don't put too much pressure on it. But yeah, if it happens, great. But I also think like, I do want my partner to care about it.
exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
Yes.
but sometimes Jesse, like, he'll be like, trying so hard, his little things, his little DJing down there. And I will just be like, you know what? It's just not going to happen today. Like I can just tell sometimes. And it's like,
No,
but
you
like,
can,
let's focus on
absolutely.
you. I'm still enjoying myself. I appreciate you try, like we're trying and we're giving it our all, but like, this is about you now, baby. Like,
Yeah.
I would agree completely. Because
Though I
sometimes,
also-
you do just know.
I would also say though that like I don't know about you guys, but like I experience like 3 types of orgasm. So like clit, G-spot, and then like cervical. So like there are most times like if I can't get clit or G-spot, I can usually like, especially if he's using like a lot of pressure and like or a lot of force. I don't know, a lot if he's going really
G-force.
fast, like, and then I can get like a cervical orgasm. And those are different. Like they don't feel like as intense.
what do they
as-
feel like? I don't think I've ever had one.
Really?
No, I don't think so.
You kind of have to, I don't want to say like train your body, but you almost have to kind of like learn how to open up to like the possibility of one. And then I don't know if you're woo, but sometimes I get like what it feels like, or what someone once described to me as like an energetic orgasm, which is like similar to a cervical, but not quite. It's basically like sometimes it happens like where he like pulls out when we're done and he was just going like really fast or whatever, and it's almost like my like gut right here, like my solar plexus, it just starts like convulsing.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. And so most of the time, like that happens almost every single time we have sex. And that feels like an energetic thing where like you really like have to open up to it. And yeah, I know that sounds woo woo, but it is.
I
What-
never had one until my partner now.
Really? Yeah, they're
Whoa.
great, aren't they? Though you feel weird because you're like,
I know. I'm like,
Like you're having like an exorcism.
yeah,
Like,
it's like literally, and I'm always like, I sit there and I'm like, still like, and I apologize and he'll be like, no, it's like the hottest thing, but like it's gotten to a point where like it just happens almost naturally every single time he like if he's going really fast and then pulls out. But that's energetic. Cervical, it's the same thing. So like your cervix, like if they're applying like a lot of pressure and a lot of force and then they just kind of stop, sometimes it's like the release of it can induce a cervical orgasm.
Wow.
And it's kind of similar. It just feels like a like roll through your body. Kimi, have you experienced it? Like a cervical?
yes, but I mean,
It almost feels like you're like the deeper parts of your uterus, I guess, start kind of like almost like contract and then like release. So it's not the G spot and it's not
So
the
does it
clit.
feel more up, kind of?
Yeah.
yeah, it just
It
feels,
feels up.
deep for me.
It feels deeper.
like a normal orgasm, but just deeper.
Interesting.
See, for me, it feels like less intense. It just feels deeper and more like a roll. Whereas like if G spot and clitoral are like a grand peak, like then cervical feels like a roll.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to aim for that.
I don't know. I wasn't able to like really start doing them until probably like 2 years ago. And the way that I have done it best is when they're, pounding into you really hard, kind of like squeeze your pelvic floor.
Okay.
And then as soon as they're out, like release it. And then it's
Yeah.
almost like that release just like kind of like instigates it.
Do you guys squeeze when you're just doing stuff in general? Do you squeeze your pelvic floor? Like
Sometimes.
I'll squeeze like in and out because I feel like it like helps me get almost the like my body used to the motion of like what I want the orgasm to be. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
it just like starts the process.
Yep, I'd agree with that.
Sometimes I feel like it happens kind of like naturally in a way
Mhm.
where it's like, depending on like the position that you're in, but other times like I will like contract it. And then, yeah, especially like if I know there's like a lot of speed and force, then I do that more so to kind of get a cervical.
I just do that in hopes that it's squeezing his penis more.
Interesting.
I know I've never asked Jesse if he can feel that.
I know. That's why I'm like, can he feel it? I don't know. But,
Yeah. I'm
started
giving you a
talking
little
more when I did
hug.
it, like,
giving you a little hug. That's funny.
Suck them up. I forgot what that question even was. Oh, do we care about orgasming?
We're like, we can have 3 kinds of orgasms.
I'm like, I'm learning.
But try the energetic one is really like I said, I almost get one every single time now.
Do you
and
like-
it is so good.
See, because sometimes people describe orgasming as like seeing stars, like seeing color pops or whatever. Like,
No.
do you
what?
like? I
Maybe
really-
every like 1 in 50 times I'll see a few little stars.
Okay.
But that's usually if I like forgot to breathe while I was
Yeah. I was
Your
gonna
body's like,
say,
we need air.
are you dehydrated? Like,
Yeah. Exactly.
Exactly.
Where's the oxygen flow?
Because I wasn't sure if that's what like an energy orgasm
No.
feels like. No.
Not at all. No, it's literally going to come from like your solar plexus.
Interesting.
So like right here. And it's going to feel like you're just having convulsions.
Yeah.
And it's a great ab workout. But it feels really, sometimes like especially it contracts so much. It feels really good.
That's great. I definitely need to try that. Okay, women, this is the last question. Women in the bedroom, why are your eyes closed and what are you thinking about?
Sometimes I'm thinking about like if my, honestly, I thought the same thing for guys. I'm like, why are your eyes closed? That wasn't in the list, but I guess that can be, associated with like when people might think someone is like spacing out. I would say that sometimes like when my eyes are closed is when I'm like really focusing on the sensation. Like there's too much like visual stimulation or whatever, and I just want to focus on like what's going on inside there. Or occasionally boobs. But most of the time I would say it's like just in relation to like wanting to like shut out the visual stimulation.
Yeah.
And just, especially if like I'm on top, or in doggy especially, because then you're just staring at a pillow.
Right,
You
the
know?
wall.
Yeah, exactly, the wall.
I would say the same. It's mostly because, if I'm having sex with my boyfriend, like, sure, I love eye contact, but I don't need to be staring at him the entire time, like.
I know, that can feel intense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then like I don't want to look around, sometimes it's just better to just close my eyes and just like feel into the feelings, open them, and then go back and to start gazing into his eyes, and then it's just like a cycle.
Yeah.
I agree. It's like not too much of anything really.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, no.
And I am closing my eyes though. I'm not a feet person. I don't like looking at feet, including my own. And so like if I do the heel thing, my partner has their sock on or whatever. But whenever I'm in reverse cowgirl, and so it's just like my view is the little feet.
Oh, yeah.
sticking.
That's the worst.
So I'm just like, okay, I'm closing my eyes right now. I don't need to see any feet.
That's funny.
Yeah, I think reverse cowgirl.
It's like such a hot view for them.
It is. But for us, we get knees and feet. Like.
And the wall.
But then I do love my. I keep hitting this. I do love my boyfriend's thigh tattoos, but at the
Ooh.
same time, it's just like I still like. You have to do like the kind of turn reverse cowgirl,
Where you're like looking back.
Well, no, where it's like you're straddling more of just like one leg.
Yeah, no, that's
That way you kind of have more of a turn.
I like that too, because then you can hit your clit like against their thigh, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when I'm closing my eyes, yeah, I'm thinking about like the feeling, the sensation, or any like fantasies I might have, or I'm just repeating because I'm such a shocker, an anxious, neurotic person. So sometimes like my mind's going all over the place. Like I have to send this email, like, did my dog get enough food today? I know. So I'm thinking of like mantras where I'm like closing my eyes and being like, this feels so good. Like that's something that really helps me because I'm just a little anxiety girly.
That's okay. We all are.
Yeah.
Is there any general thoughts you guys had? Like any things we didn't touch on that you're thinking about?
See, I guess that's what I was trying to think about. It's like I don't really think about anything like too specific during sex.
I think most of the time I'm trying to remember to like disconnect from the outside world and just focus on the moment. Sometimes I will, if I've like closed my eyes, I was going to add this. Sometimes I'll be manifesting.
Like doing, if you come and manifest at the same time, that's witchcraft, and how beautiful.
Exactly.
You can set
And
spells
sometimes
on
I will
people.
literally like when, like if there's something my boyfriend and I are really trying to call in, sometimes like as one of us or both of us or whatever are coming, like we, we'll like tap into that a little bit. So yeah. Or I mean, like I definitely do. And I told him before as well, like, okay, let's like, try to like manifest it with this. So yeah, it's that can be a piece of it as well. But I would say, yeah, in general, like I'm trying to like block out my mind from thinking and I'm just trying to like enjoy the sensations.
Do you guys, because I don't know if y'all do this, but I do. Like when I'm having sex, maybe I'm like looking at my boyfriend and I'll think like, oh my God, I love this person so much while I'm having sex with them.
Yeah.
And then that's what I think about.
Yeah.
No, that's one of like my mantras sometime too. Is like, I love him so much. Like,
Do you ever cry from joy after sex?
yes.
Yes.
I do it.
And I think that's also like the orgasm release, like, because
Yeah.
it's such like a release from your body too,
Oh yeah.
that it can like trigger.
That happens to me all the time.
I've had that before, like where even before the orgasm, like during sex,
Yeah.
I start getting emotional about like, oh my God, like I love this person.
We're
Yeah, we're
connected.
connected. Like it's so good. This is so great. Sometimes I'm thinking like how lucky I am or how lucky I feel or grateful. Like sometimes, yeah. And I would say for the most part, especially like if it is that, that you're having sex with someone that you really love and connect with, like, it's probably generally, really positive things.
Totally.
I can recall back to when I was having, sex with people that I wasn't in love with, or, just like a one night stand or, whatever. Like, and in those situations, like, that's when my mind would be all over the place. And I'm like, well, I gotta go do this after, or like, am I really enjoying this? Or like, let's get this over with, like, whatever. Like, the times that I can like relate to like any negative thinking patterns during sex was like when I was not connected to the person. And so when I'm connected to the person, like it's an entirely different story. So I think it can vary too, depending on the connection and like what kind of, situation you're in.
That's so true. I forget what I was thinking when I was having casual sex. I think it was, I kind of turn myself on sometimes. Like I'll be like, I bet I look really hot right now.
No,
So
I do that
think
all the
that-
time.
I
Oh my
think-
God. That's another thing. Sometimes I will be like on top of my boyfriend and the whole time I'm like, damn, I must look good.
Yeah, like I wish I could see me.
And then but I think that's one of the things I love the most is that like having, sex with him, it makes me feel hotter and like turns up my confidence and like, self-love. And I love that.
That's great. Do you guys ever do mirror sex?
Oh yeah.
It's my favorite. I feel
Yeah.
like everyone, like, all your insecurities would go away if you could actually see yourself having sex.
Yeah.
Like people who are like, I feel like my tummy looks bad or whatever. Like, no, just watch yourself. It's
Yeah.
so much hotter than you could
Yeah.
even imagine.
Exactly.
I don't have mirrors in my room, and my partner doesn't really have that many. But there is one angle from the bed that you can kind of see his bedroom mirrors where you can see what's happening, and that's the only time. Right
Yeah.
now. Yeah. I used to. The guy I lost my virginity to had a mirror on his ceiling.
That takes a lot of effort to
And
put up there.
I don't know that I liked it, at that time. Maybe I'd like it more now when it's a little bit more meaningful. I don't know.
I don't think
but
so.
Yeah.
I'd be too afraid that it would just fall on top of me.
Yeah,
at
Yeah.
any given
I think
moment.
we can retire
With the
mirrors.
earthquakes, like,
Yeah, we live in California. You
But
can't be
also,
putting
like,
a mirror on the
as a
ceiling.
woo-woo girly, you don't want a mirror facing your bed.
no.
Yeah. You also don't even really want them in your room.
No, I have one like that I'll bring in. Like I'll be like, it's mirror time,
No,
baby.
it's the same thing
yeah.
for me. Mine it sits on like outside of my bedroom in the hallway. And so sometimes I'll like bring it on in. Granted, my boyfriend's only been over once. And I pulled it in once, but like that's like my thought process. And like I'm not gonna keep a mirror in my room. I'm just gonna keep it
Witchy
outdoors.
tip of the day:
Ooh,
don't
yeah.
have mirrors facing your bed.
What's the reasoning?
You're basically while you're sleeping, which is like your more like vulnerable state energetically. Yeah,
Your
you're
subconscious.
allowing the possibility for other energies
Like
to,
worlds.
come in. Yeah. You can put like little runes to help with like protection.
Yeah,
A
you can put the
protection rune.
protection rune.
And if you look that up, just look up Norse protection rune, and you can draw that on your mirror, and that will help. But yeah, generally you don't want mirrors or like big computer screens. And it's so funny because like my last apartment before this one, I had both a mirror by my
we
bed. I
have
had
a
no idea,
big computer
and a black computer screen. And I'll never forget one time I had this dream. So crazy. I was like running around in this dream trying to find these like numbers for something, and out of nowhere, clear as day, I remember it. This like lady stops me in the middle of the road, and she was like, "You're well protected, but watch out for the black screen." And I was like,
No.
"Okay, bitch, I'm gonna do something about that black screen." Like
That's great. Well, because that's
Yeah.
like is it the grudge they come out of the
I don't
screen?
know.
Oh,
Like,
I don't want anything about that.
yeah,
Mm,
no, it's too much for me.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm
So.
going to break all the mirrors in our house. That's actually probably bad luck too.
No, just put the little protection rune.
I
Yeah.
will. I'm into runes right now because I'm reading Onyx Storm and we're talking about them.
Oh my god, we haven't started it yet.
But the book finally got delivered to my house.
Yay.
To my car.
Yeah. Oh, you're almost there. Okay. Any last thoughts on what we're thinking about during sex?
That's it. Yeah.
Do we want to do send it to the sewers?
What am I sending to the sewers?
We can do something, but you start.
Okay.
start,
I want to send to the sewers the fact that I'm so fucking stupid and And the American education system failed me so badly by not teaching me a language like when I was 2 years old or whatever it was, like besides English. I don't know. I've tried to learn Spanish as an adult. I've tried to learn sign language as an adult. My brain just doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
And I feel so stupid walking around and like, I hear people speak Spanish, or like the person that works at my Trader Joe's speaks sign language, and I'm like the asshole who can't speak to anyone. I feel so crazy about it.
So the ideal time to learn a language, if you want to retain it like through life, is I believe between, what is it, like 4 and 12 years old, something like that. If you learn it before 12, you tend to retain it for life. So I agree. I feel like a language should be taught, you know, like what grade are 12 years old in?
Like sixth grade.
Yeah. So maybe like 3rd through 6th
And that's
grade.
when I started learning a language, and my brain's already like stupid by that point.
Interesting.
Just tell your Trader Joe's person.
I do that.
Spanish is really hard. We're both that was our first language.
Yeah, are you guys fluent?
Mostly.
We're fluent to a 1st grade level.
Okay.
Yes.
Because that is the age in where we stopped living in Argentina and we moved to the United States to learn English.
Gosh.
Granted, like every time we go over there, like we can communicate and like hold entire conversations and read.
That's
and
so
write.
We've
cool.
learned more through the years too.
Yeah,
It's harder when you're not immersed in the language.
Yeah,
Totally.
but we were only there till about 1st grade, so that's the point that we learned to.
Yeah. No, I like memorize all the Harry Potter spells because I was like reading that at that age. Like, and I'm like,
Well, there you go.
what if I was learning Spanish instead?
Hakuna Matata,
Like,
or whatever they say.
Yeah.
That's the Lion King. Okay, sorry.
but yeah, what if I was learning? Yeah. I only retained que lastima. That's all I know how to say.
Que lástima.
Que lástima.
Okay, but here's the thing about, and this maybe will help you in Spanish or any Spanish that you do learn. A lot of times, chop the vowels. So it's like, and that's the one mistake that Americans tend to make when they're trying to learn Spanish is they'll be like que lástima, and it's like que, not que. You cut off the e. Lástima. So it's like every single vowel you cut. It's
Oh.
short. There's no A's really. There's no like E's, I's. Like everything is like.
I'm saying it like a valley girl.
Yeah, exactly. No, which is fine because like that's how the English language is, you know. So you're just translate. It's the same letter that you see.
Yeah.
So of course you're gonna think like, okay, I'm gonna pronounce it the same way that I do in English, and so I can totally understand like why they make that mistake. And I think that, I mean, I don't know if when teaching Spanish they teach that, but like you should be cutting off the vowels.
No, I feel like they don't teach it because I felt like I was pretty good in school at like writing the language and like
Yeah.
reading it. But as soon as I heard someone speak it, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Like I was about to say, okay, this is another language, but it was. It was
Yeah.
like
The Y's will tend to be Y because people will say like okay, and you know like the Y's will be long, but for the most part, every other vowel is cut.
Yeah.
short. Yeah. I mean, I guess it can depend on the word, but for the most part. So yeah, but that's good. Lástima.
okay, yeah. So cultured.
Got it, girl.
Yeah.
I'm sending to the sewers my small bladder. Like I have to pee so much, and I'm trying to like up my water intake, and I'm like constantly going pee.
Do you pee during the middle of the night?
Yeah,
Same. It's exhausting.
it really is. Wakes me up in the middle. I hate it.
Wait, this was almost my send it to the sewer. I thought about this on the way here. I was like, do I want it to be about peeing too much?
I'm sending to the sewers this dry ass skin from the weather. I was like looking at my legs and my hands today, and I was like, I need to fucking moisturize. It's bad. So yeah, and my hair too. I feel like
My
feels
scalp.
like my scalp has been really dry. Like Kamala,
Dandruff shampoo.
yeah, Cammy the other day was doing my braids, and she was like, "Your dandruff is horrible," and I was like, "Thanks, I already know." And so like just dry skin everywhere. I hate it.
Scalp health.
The winter, it does it to us. And the fires, I guess. I don't even know what those are doing to
Oh,
us.
there's another one that started out when I was. It's in the valley.
Oh my God.
But yeah, I saw.
Oh,
it
I
on
made
the-
this joke on Twitter and it did not do well, but I'm going to repeat it. I said, I'll hang me from a helicopter with my Satisfyer Pro vibe and I'll put out the fires. No likes. It's like, maybe it's not time we joke about this.
Too soon.
It's too soon.
But I love the concept.
Yes. Woo!
I love that.
I'm doing my
That's
part.
hilarious. Yes.
Well,
I'm about to.
pee my pants.
Okay.
Anyways, that was all I had to say.
Great episode.
No, that was good. I enjoyed it.
Wear
I'm gonna be
condoms.
Wear condoms. Bye.